We have had so much fun studying the universe. So today I'd like to share with you some of the things that we did in hopes to give you some ideas on the universe unit study. Hi, my name's Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm very thankful that you're here. On my channel, we talk about all things homeschool. I have a 5th grader and we are just having a blast on this homeschool journey. And here I share it with you and I get to know you through YouTube, which is so much fun. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. So let's get started because this was one of my absolute favorites. I love the universe. I love studying the planets and NASA, everything. So here we go. We did use MasterBooks, Heaven and Earth, the Our Universe unit for our spine with regards to this study. And within the universe, they have space models, outer space, the sun and the moon, planets, and the space program. And so this is really what we used every day just to basically kick us off in deciding what we wanted to do that day and what we wanted to study. I also utilized the Good and the Beautiful Space Science basically for their experiments. I really enjoyed their activities. So I will link a video here where I talk about comparing these two curricula and how I actually use both of them for this. So that is what we used for our spine, but let's get into what else we did. We read Who Was Galileo, and we did some of like the pendulum experiment and things like that that's included in this where he talks about it. We used that. We also read Who Was Isaac Newton, and then we read and watched The Magic School Bus Lost in the Solar System. Watching this was really interesting. It was a lot of fun. We did it when we were talking about all of the different planets. We had actually finished talking about the planets, and that was when we watched it, and it was great fun to watch The Magic School Bus. I mean, The Magic School Bus, right? So we also did quite a few experiments with this, but not just not when you say, hey, we're going to go do experiments. We went outside and looked at the stars. We just had a lot of fun talking about shadows and playing different shadow games with the sun, casting shadows at different times of the day. And we just had great times in incorporating this into our everyday discussions, our talks, and things like that. And I think one of her favorite facts that she learned was that the moon does not have any light on its own, that it is purely the reflection from the light of the sun. She has talked about that fact so much. That is one of her favorites that she has learned. I also brought in a few DK books. This one, Starfinder, we loved with regards to constellations, where you can find them, what part of the world they're in. And she had so much fun with this Starfinder. This is probably her favorite of the DK books that we talked about. We also used Space, a Visual Encyclopedia, which, DK has awesome pictures. So this one was a lot of fun. And we were able to go to a science museum that has a wonderful exhibit. It's a permanent exhibit that they have on space. So there we were able to look at the different amounts something would weigh on different planets due to the gravitational pull. Are you doing them according to what? To wait. Oh. So the Science Museum was definitely a hit. Now, we did some experiments and activities also at home. The first one I had in this Smithsonian STEM packet that I got, it was this. So it's the moon and the Earth model. So what you do is you put it together, but then this just comes as a blue ball, and so you have to paint on it for the Earth, and then here's the moon, and it shows how the Earth can move, and then also the moon. And so this was, okay. Also put together this. Now, I had some pretty great hopes for this one, but if your child is not into art and painting, then I don't recommend this one, because what it is you get all of these blank balls and you're responsible for painting each one of them, and then they go on here. Well, my daughter got tired of the painting, so she was done with this project basically days before the project was done, because we were trying to paint one a day when we were studying them, and it just didn't work. So this one I would recommend only if your child is very into painting. So that one didn't quite pan out the way that I had hoped. Another one that we did, and this was her final project for the planets, was this solar system 3D puzzle. And I have been looking and looking for the age range on this puzzle because it was not easy. And it says it's easy to assemble, no glue required, hand-eye coordination, and no scissors required, which all of those are true, but it still was not an easy piece to assemble. Whoops. But here it is, and it looks really cool, and it is really cool. It's definitely 3D. I would put this for the older age range. If you have younger children that you're even third grade, I would really, either your child needs to be extremely patient or older, because these pieces, you can see they're having a hard time sticking together. It was a lot of fun, and she definitely learned a lot, and we talked about the different planets, and so that was a lot of fun in talking, and it was definitely a feeling of accomplishment when we finished it. But her absolutely favorite part was when we got to the space program. Now, during our Women's History Month last year, we had watched Hidden Figures and read the book. So if we hadn't done that, I would have included it this year, but we had just recently done that just a few months ago. So we watched Space Camp, and we also watched Apollo 13, and both of those just really drove home a lot of what we were learning. And we put together this. I shouldn't even say we. She put together this. There was no we involved. She was all about doing this one on her own. And it is a very cool Lego piece. It shows your cargo bay that can open. We talked about just all of the different pieces. You get the rover. You get the piece that for collection. Get your astronaut. This was her favorite activity of all of them, of any of the planets that we put together, any of those pieces. Doing the Legos was definitely her favorite, and it paired really well with those two movies because we were able to talk about the boosters. We were able to talk about the space station. We were able to talk about the different parts of Apollo versus the shuttle missions. It was just really fun to be able to talk about all of those different aspects of the space program. One other aspect that we did was for our Bible, we are currently doing Indescribable. And what is so cool is that our lessons in here go along with the universe. Quite a few of them do. So it was very entertaining when we would have just read something in science and then we were studying it in our devotions with Indescribable, and that just reinforced the information and it made it relevant to her since it was being reinforced in a few different ways. But if you're doing the universe or any kind of earth science, this is really a great devotional that is that reinforces those concepts. So please let me know if you are studying the universe this year and if you're enjoying it. I hope this video has provided some information and ideas that are useful to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am really enjoying getting to know you through YouTube. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you next time.